Alright, here we have the cute new Lupo girl and little sister of Wolfguard, Rossi, or Rossina Lupino, or something like that. I don't Italian. Despite being quite literally a child, Rossi is the leader of the pack instead of Wolfguard. Though, even with that big responsibility, she seems to be big into treasure maps and idolizes the Endmen. Starting from the front, Rossi is very obviously a mix between Red Riding Hood and the wolf, at least silhouette-wise. A big red coat with wolf ears, cute little side tails, a white dress, as well as big stompers. From the side, you can't really even see her face anymore, due to all the things either draped or layered next to it. The white dress is surprisingly wide and looks kind of awkward without the coat, but we'll get to that later. The back is, well, just the coat, kind of. Aside Grandma's cut-up tablecloth, the silhouette of Red Riding Hood and the wolf kind of falls apart here, with all the knives, even if they're folded in, the claws, the teeth, and the big fluffy tail. The last side, aside from some color tabs, is mostly the same, so let's go back to the top. From the top, her coat contrasts her face really well. While it has many sharp edges and claws and such, her face is actually quite round, I mean she's a child, and has quite the, giant, eyes. Yes, totally the eyes, nothing else. Her eyelashes are brown, with little strikes of blue mixed in, and her eyes are majorly yellow, with a slit pupil lined with a magenta or purplish color. Aside from this, her bottom eyelashes are quite inset, though I believe this is supposed to be eye bags rather than an eyeline. Her mesh is quite simple and doesn't feature much of any special emotions, oddly enough. Perhaps things like the blush are more in-game effects or pre-rendered cutscene stuff, rather than being in the MMD model. Rossi has very long blonde bangs, to the point where they're covering some of her eye. The sides of the bangs are braided, going underneath the big side pieces, which are secured with some kind of fang elastic band. When I looked at Rossi through the trailers before, I didn't even notice that the two front pieces are the only long ones, as the back of her hair is genuinely just cut into this cute little kind of bob. Her ears are very fluffy and have partially the same color as her hair, sticking out the holes on top of the coat, which seem to have just been roughly cut through the top with its jagged edges. Generally, the top of the coat looks like it's been modified from a normal red cloak to what Rossi has now, with edges where stuff like the ears was sewn on, and where some of it was probably cut off or ripped off in battle. Next to the ear is a braided band with 3 claws, and the back has this quite interesting colored stripe with a zipper. Moving further down, we have her neck, which is actually quite bare in my opinion, as it's quite literally just more of the coat. The sides are being held together by this clasp, with another braided piece hanging off of it. At the end of this piece is what seems to be some monster's tooth, fading from white to purple and seeming quite dirty and old. Quickly going over said coat though, the front has many more clasp ends where it seems like she could have closed it, yet the bands for it seem to be gone. One side has another one-sided clasp attached to the coat by this black strap, while on the other side it seems like she has replaced this with a gradient strap with an Enfield logo on it. In general, as I've mentioned, she seems to have a lot of these broken up clasps. At the front, on the shoulders, on the back, and even under the hood. On the left side, there's a metal kind of construct strapped to her coat, which looks like a sword holster, and the coat itself is separated into 2 halves, as well as those 2 halves still being able to be separated with another zipper. Along this is a similar strap of cloth with the same gradient as the clip on her arm. The end of it even has a little wolf. At the end of the coat, the color gets a bit darker and holds usually folded knives which fold out during her attacks. The only difference from outside to inside is that the inside fades from gray to red. Taking off the coat completely, this kinda looks really cursed. I saw some people compare her coatless version with some other characters, but it makes it very obvious how much the coat shapes the character. Regardless, let's look at the arms first. The arms are pretty much the same, their only difference being a little Endfield tag around the clasp. Both arms have around the elbow. The gloves are black and look to be more fabric than leather here, though with the in-game shader, I suppose it's more reflective. The glove is fingerless, with straps only wrapping below the first joint of each finger. Around the glove is a metal bangle with a red stripe, and her fingers don't have any special polish or longer nails a wolf might have. Looking at the dress, it's a pretty white base with an embroidery design at the chest, with many black straps, fangs, and other personalizations added to it. Around the bodice is a black halter, held around the waist with two separate types of clasps, as well as what seems to be Velcro, or something similar. This halter seems to be for holding a belt with another knife sheath, and a bag with another braid and a wolf head attached to it. It generally seems to be a makeshift tool belt without being all too heavy. Much like the coat, the dress can be separated into parts using zippers, though there is some kind of petticoat underneath. Aside from this, there's more Endfield tags, fangs on the end of it, and the back featuring more of the embroidery design on top of her tail. Moving further down, Rossi only has a leg strap with the very same bag from above, and I suppose we can count her tail, which aside from being very fluffy, doesn't have any decorations like braids or bows attached to it. Further down, we only have her big-ass stompers with embroidery like on top of her tail. They're dark gray and held together with yet more clasps. Around the ankle, she wears another braided piece of string with the leftover part hanging off the side. The shoe part itself is black and laced up with more Endfield tags. Meanwhile, the bottom part is only red with no discernible patterns or special footprint. While Rossi is very cute and I love her visual effects, I personally will not be pulling for her. Mainly because I just got tongue. A thing I love about her especially is her brother. And no, I don't mean this because he looks good, but because they have such a cute dynamic with each other. I think we need to see more in gacha games. Brother and sister, father and daughter, and so on. Anyways, next up is probably Feng Yi. I hope you enjoyed and have a nice day. Bye bye.